Hello and welcome. This is what lawyers won't tell you about family court because they make money whether you win or lose, and if they actually do work. I am a mom survivor of legal abuse. I have 7 books for moms surviving custody court battles with their narcissistic ex. And I'm here to help encourage, empower the safe, loving mom so that she can help protect her kids, raise her kids, be in her kids' life. And I did fight on the front lines of family court for 12 years. I won some, lost some, won some back with contempts. I even have a book, How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win, Super Smart Strategies for Success. And I stopped using the win word when I learned skillful means. And I now teach that type of approach so moms can get out of the court battle. One of my books is Wisdom for Ending the Court Battle and Co-Parenting War. Um, and I came out of that and successfully negotiated with a narcissist, getting everything I wanted on the list. And how did that happen? After 12 years where he refused to mediate or give or even be reasonable. It took a lot, and that's why there's 7 books, because my case went in phases. I had to adopt some mindsets and some approaches. I had to learn how to effectively deal with narcissists and not be the target of blame, and understand them and what motivates them, what drives them, and use a lot of skills that I just didn't have. So welcome to my work. This is one of my things. Don't fight for perfect. Don't fight for a perfect court order. Notice if you're fighting for perfection in family court. And family court, while it protected me and our child at first with supervised transfers and visits, it then failed us because the narcissist had more money. And generally, the person with more money wins because it's about legal power. And he had a bigger lawyer for a period of time who kept our fight going and billed him enormously. And then I became more of the target of blame because he was losing money to fight me. And this can go on and on forever unless you want to make it stop. So just notice, are you fighting for perfection, a perfect court order? And I have 3 reasons why I stopped doing this, and I realized it was another form of insanity. So welcome to my work. I really am here to help share my survivor wisdom. And I do a quick disclaimer: what worked for me may not work for you ever, or it might work for you in the future. I mean, you might be in the battle now, but want to get to negotiation with a narcissist later. And there's some things I can teach you about that. So my background is loving and leaving an alcoholic. I went on to fight in family court. I have my next book after that, Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. I learned all I could. My knowledge was my power. You can see my 7 books here. If you're listening on Spotify, you can't see them, but they go all the way through Tame the Narcissist. And my newest book is We So Thrived in Narcissists, Believe You Can Too. We have to believe in ourselves as moms. We often have to get educated first. And the education is like a self-education. We learn as we go. It's important that you're learning whatever lessons you're learning right now. You can support me by buying my books on Amazon. So if you're in a custody battle with a narcissist, are you battling a narcissist for a perfect court order? Are you fighting to try to make the child's childhood perfect? That word perfect, just like the word win, can be a trap. Trap for us, trap for the narcissist. Is it time to accept that you won't get a perfect situation with a personality disordered narcissist? I was in a custody battle 12 years. You can come to my groups on Facebook for moms. And this is stuff a lawyer who wants your money won't tell you, that there is another way. And while some things you're advised to do by a lawyer might be smart, they may not be wise. I won some, lost some, won some back. It was horrible for me and our only child, the stress of family court. But now I teach the use of skillful means to create peace and protection. In the end, I successfully negotiated with a narcissist and got all that I was requesting. It came through my third lawyer, my 20 wants list strategy, which I teach, and some of my other strategies, especially the 3-part strategy, which I had to wrap my mind around and create. So I got the majority of the parenting time, all the child support, respect, cooperation, and peace of mind. But without skillful means, I would have ended up in another court battle with terrible consequences, the terrible consequences of winning, quote unquote. Because there's such thing as winner's backlash when you're dealing with a revengeful, pathologically jealous narcissist. So you've got to keep in winner's backlash. It really needs to be a win for the narcissist when you're in a negotiation. Or there's one other way too. And I teach about that. So our child is now thriving. We're out of war. And my work now is for moms who want another way. Learn all you can from my shared story in my 7 books, which are available on Amazon. My books and all the individual guides have my tips, tools, and strategies that I use, which may help you. But remember, all depends on your situation. If something that worked for me will work for you. I learned to let things go. I learned to let some of the messy things just be the mess it is because he was disordered. Can you name 3 things you need to let go of and just accept that they are awful because of the narcissist being himself? And I say little things. It could be the lunchbox or hair or winter boots. I talk about some of our examples that I would lose my energy on just getting emotional. And then I wouldn't have energy to document strategically, which is what I teach moms. So here is some of my best survivor wisdom. Don't fight for perfection in family court. Why? Here are my reasons why. Because 1, you lose energy battling the narcissist, energy you need for you, your health, your goals, your kids. 2, the narcissist typically won't follow it anyways, unless there's a few cases you're about to head into court and they do it for show. So just think about that. Do you really want to be frustrated? Now, there are times where my lawyer advised that we order a lot in family court just so that we'll have several contempts to show that he can't follow rules. And so there's exceptions to all of these things, which is why you really need a lawyer, a strategy partner. And I teach you how to guide your lawyer and start your lawyer leading you off with your 20 wants list. Number 3, the long-term consequences of a war and an unhappy narcissist feeling controlled by you and you becoming the target of blame. The TOB, the target of blame to the narcissist, something you don't want to do if you want cooperation or a successful negotiation with a narcissist. Narcissists generally won't negotiate with someone they deem the enemy. They want to destroy. And it becomes something that pushes them on the inside to protect their fragile, feeling threatened ego or narcissistic supply. And I teach all of these things in my books or one-on-one. My number 1 key for negotiating or how I negotiated successfully with a narcissist was I wasn't his target of blame. And I looked at how I was presenting, confronting him, addressing him, holding him to task, filing contempts. I was not using any of the things that I teach now, like my customer service skill and my 3D approach to discuss, document, and detach and save it for later. I wasn't using any of that. I was just going based on reaction, emotional reaction to our child being abused or neglected. And he really couldn't be a better co-parent than he was. However, he could do better. I forgot about the love bombing phase and how he could present really well. And he started presenting really well right before court. to look good. He'd follow the order, and I'd say, well, for a year he didn't. And then right before court, he paid, half of her activities that he was ordered to do. So it would cancel out my argument and things that I was becoming very resentful for. So I teach moms to stop with the expectations. You have a disordered ex who was looking for an easy way out and to get away with stuff. That's what they like to do, and to manipulate if they feel threatened. So, when I was expecting things, they were premeditated resentments. I just didn't know that. I was creating more things to be upset with, not accepting who he was and the limits of our situation. So that's why I say, perfect. There's going to be a mess with a disordered person. You're going to get disorder. So we have to let go of some of the things. Not all, if it's big, if it's child abuse that's documented or severe, you talk to your lawyer, because generally reporting stuff to CPS without a legal backing and legal guidance can really become, I don't want to say more harmful, but it can go nowhere, which then feels less hopeful, that people aren't able to protect children that are actually in the business of protecting children. So read my story, listen on Audible, learn, heal, grow through this. Some of us have outgrown the narcissist. I have a free blog. Think about where you're expecting perfection. Think about what you could let go of that would be healthy. You can grow through this whole experience and come out smarter and stronger than before. My child and I did. You can like and subscribe. I say, keep being a great mom. Come to my website, www.gracewolson.com. That's GRACEWROLDSON. I have the podcast on Spotify if you want to listen and learn, take some notes, because self-work really is the most important work we'll ever do. It directly affects our child. And then a lot of the work we do just indirectly affects them, sometimes inspires them. I have a Navigate Around the Narcissism newsletter. Say that because we can't always navigate around the narcissist. The court order says, you got to ask the other parent. But you can navigate around the narcissism once you know the narcissist. And you can find that free video on my website or my YouTube channel. Knowing the narcissist is key, so you're not surprised and upset every time he's being his selfish and lacking empathy self. So learn all you can from my work. I hope this was helpful. It spoke to you in some way. Now I get all the cooperation I want. I take her when I want. She has all the activities she wants. I get my child support regularly with no fight. He will even do the extras without me asking. And now I'm surprised he does it. But that's because I stepped into a whole different approach, and it has led to peace and things that I want for you and your children. So thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you in the next video.